Hey there, Wargamers. Justin here, Patreon. Today, I want to talk about some cards. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. This video right here will be brief. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe. Alpha strike it, if you will. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for tuning in today. Appreciate you being here to help support what I do. That said, let's get into it. Today, I had got some cards in the mail that I had got made for Nova Open 2024, and these are my Battlefield condition cards. So some of you guys may or may not know, but if you don't know, I am the TO for the Northern Assault tournament at Nova Open. So I'm in charge of setting up that event, running it, coming up with the scenarios for what we're going to do, and so forth. And this year I want to do something different, and for that I made some Battlefield condition cards. So these are going to be used during games, and before each match, I'm going to go to each table, and we're going to flip a card. And it's going to dictate what the players do. Now this one says Battlefield Promotion. Choose one from a unit, add +1 to their skill, cannot exceed skill 2. This is a typo, and because Battletech functions a little bit differently in other games, I forgot that I should have said subtract 1 from their skill, because subtracting is good in Battletech, and other games subtracting seems bad, so I will have to errata this on the ground. I'd already ordered the cards and can't fix it. But essentially, this will flip over. Both players will do what the card says. Both players will do this. So if this comes up at your table, then you would get to choose one of your units and make their skill 1 better, and so would your opponent. You both get Battlefield promotions, changes up the game a little bit, but it should be relatively even. It just spices it up just a smidge. We've got munitions cache, so +1 damage to short, medium, long range, or +1 short, medium, long range damage to 1 unit of your choice for the rest of the game. So you and your opponent will both get to choose 1 model on your side of the field to increase their damage output at short, medium, and long for the game. And I think that's pretty cool. Something small, but a little extra. We've got Intimidate, and this is the antithesis of, or opposite of, Battlefield Promotion. And I already had a typo on this, and I will have to explain it again, or explain it at the event so people know. But this one says, players select 1 opposing model to receive a -1 skill for the entire game. Cannot force a unit into being skill 7. This should be a +1, not a minus. Again, I was thinking minus bad, plus good. Been burning midnight oil, made these, and totally messed that part up. But we have that, which is cool. And shoot, we have Normal Day. If you flip this one, just nothing happens. Just a standard game. You will play the scenario and move on. Weapons Jam. Any ranged attack roll of double 1s, not just the pilot pair, because at my event you have to set a critical pair, triggers a critical roll against the firing unit. Infantry, ignore this. So all vehicles and all mechs, if you roll any pair of dice you roll that's double 1s for the totality of the game, will result in a critical roll against you because your weapon's jammed. I think this would be cool. It hinders both players equally and adds a little flair to the game, so I think that would be fun. This one's probably going to be pretty fun, a little chaotic, but I think it'll be cool. Perfect Day. Treat range mods as follows. Short range, -1. Medium range, +2 or +1. Long range, +2. So instead of the standard short as 0, medium as 2, and long as 4, you're treating short as -1, medium as 1, and long as 2. So basically it's going to make it easier to shoot at all ranges for both players, which would be pretty cool. Should speed up the game tremendously, I bet. The Gambit. Once per unit, per combat, players may have a firing unit take 1 point of damage to reroll 1 pair of that unit's attack dice. So you can pick a unit, and once per combat, that unit may be able to take a damage and reroll a dice. So I think that's pretty cool. And you could, you're taking a risk. Like, do I take the damage and reroll, or do I not? So, but again, both players get this benefit, and they get to choose to do that if they want to. Pretty cool. Normal Day, again, so I had some duplicates of these so that we had extras, and I think these are in a different order, so I know some we haven't got to. So Normal Day, Munitions Cache, so there we go. There's Dusk, starting on turn 5, so my event's going up to turn 10. Starting on turn 5, treat range mods as follows. Short, +1, medium, +3, long, +5. So it's getting dark and it's harder to hit. So you want to start being aggressive early on, because late game, if you're not up on someone, it's going to be harder to hit. So I think that's pretty neat. There's a replay of Intimidate. Dead of Night. Treat the range mods as follows. +1, +3, +5 for the entire game. So the whole game's going to be a little bit harder, and if you want to hit, got to get up close because it's dark. Desert. At the end of each turn, all mech units that ran, jumped, or fired roll a d6. On a result of a 6, that unit gains 1 heat. So it's hot out. When you do stuff, you might have a chance to get heated up. So something small, but could be cool. Dawn. Until turn 5, treat range mods as follows. 0, +1, +3. So on turn 5, you'll go back to normal, but up until then, it's early in the morning, and it's very bright, easy to see things, and you guys are motivated to fight. Another battlefield promotion. Artillery Strike. This one I'm pretty excited about too. Roll a d6 at the start of the game. The result is the turn the strikes land. When the strike lands, roll a d6 for each unit on the table. On a result of a 5+, this unit takes 1 damage. So essentially at the start of the game, you'll roll a dice. That's the turn that this hits. And on that turn, every unit on the table rolls to see if the artillery barrage on the battlefield hits them. Friendly fire and whatnot, kind of danger close. This is just arty strikes are hitting, and everyone might get hurt. So something small could be cool. Arctic. At the start of each turn, all units reduce their current heat status by 1. This is important because when heat's applied, this means at the start of the turn, if you have heat on you from the previous turn, you get to knock 1 off because it's cold out. Thought that would be kind of cool. Another Artillery Strike. Arctic. I think that might be the last one. There's Dawn, Desert. Let's see. I think that might be the last one. I can't remember all the ones I did. Did I? Dusk, Intimidate? Gambit? Yep, I think that is it. We just got through all of them. They were just in a little bit of a weird order. So I'm pretty excited about these at the show. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different potentialities that could come up. And then they're shuffled, so it's random, and there are duplicates of these. So the odds of getting some of the bad ones are a little bit less because there are higher numbers of like normal day, perfect day, and stuff like that. Because I wanted to make sure it wasn't super disruptive, but when it came up, it gave you an extra layer of things that you would have to play around. If this is something that you guys think is cool, I might potentially put these up as something the patrons can print, or maybe do limited runs of these. But I think it's kind of cool, and I wish that CGL would do something like this, because it would be really easy for you and your friends to grab these cards, right? And I'm about to do the unthinkable. You know, do something like this, right? Give yourself some shuffling, right? And then just be like, all right, you know, Billy Bob, we're playing today, and flip. Boom. For today's scenario, we have the Gambit, and that, or the battlefield condition. And if you get something like this, you might also be like, do you want to do this? And then flip until we get a actual battlefield condition that isn't a special ability, but something that has to do with the actual weather. And then we flip, and boom, we have the Gambit and perfect day. So you're playing with these, and you have the Gambit. Same thing if you were to pull like the Artillery Strike or Intimidate, you might get one battlefield or not one environmental effect, and then one environmental effect at the same time if you choose to. And I think that could be a lot of fun. You could also do it to where it's like, you know, hey, we shuffle this and we go 1, 2, 3. We flip these over, and then I ban one, you ban one, and the one that's left is the one we play. You could do that too. So there's a variety of ways that this could be a lot of fun and might be interesting. So I wish CJ would do something like this. But in the meantime, if you guys here on the channel or on Patreon have ideas for other conditions you would want, this is a work in progress. This is just what I got done before the show, or before the convention. I would like to expand this. I think it would be cool to have a 100-card deck with probably like 30 different cards, so you have some duplicates. I think that would be really neat. Right now we've got 13. So if you have ideas, let me know. I'm trying to make these not super disruptive, but really interesting and fun. One of the things that I had down that didn't make it into the deck was gravity scenarios, where the gravity is light or the gravity is heavy based on where you're fighting, and that impacts how far you move or don't move, things of that nature, which could be cool, but I didn't get those done in time for this, and I couldn't get the rules to where they didn't feel super clunky to try and explain. So this is a cool concept. Hope you guys like it. If you want to help support the channel, you know what to do. As always, hope you guys keep on painting, keep rolling your dice, and I'll catch you guys next time. If you made it this far, you're probably a viewer that already hits that like button when you see a video come up. You're probably already a subscriber, and you probably jump into the comments down below to help support the channel, to help support that algorithm. But if you're looking for some other ways to help support the channel too, make sure you check the description down below. Maybe you want to pick up some paints from Monument Hobbies. That's my paint of choice. The Pro Acrylic line is Chef's Kiss, good stuff. Maybe you want to check out some of the offerings from Death Designs, where I work in my day job. We got plenty of 3D printed products, as well as MDF terrain, some of the stuff that I have designed myself and we play with here on the channel. And if you're looking to bolster your Battletech ranks, miniatures, and offerings, make sure you check out Bobby from Fortress Miniatures and Games. He's one of the main supporters of the channel as well, and supporting any of these companies helps support what I do and helps to ensure that I can continue to bring content to all of you. If you want to become a super supporter, I highly recommend you guys check out the Patreon. You guys get that extra little edge to help push more content out, and I really do appreciate that. And my ultimate goal on the channel is to continue to be able to not only put out the content we have now, but to get to a point where you can put out more content later, whether that be battle reports or painting tutorials or just more rambles, anything at all. I'd like to be doing more content for you. This is something that I enjoy. I like being able to cast a light into the darkness to bring a little bit of hobby positivity to all of you and make you feel good, and also enjoy playing games myself. As we do the final sign off here though, I do want to go ahead and switch on over and do the scroll of awesome to showcase all the Patreon supporters, the super supporters of the channel, to give them some recognition for helping support what I do. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time.